we're back. Welcome to the pod. Weather the Storm Entertainment presents the pod. I'm your host, Dwayne Weathers.
It's Phil White.
Today's episode, we have a friend, a brother, our barber,
Family.
He's an eligible bachelor. He's an entrepreneur and a very good dude. He's going to tell y'all his story, his life, as far as his business, as far as being a barber, being a stylist, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations. We're going to tap into some of his personal life.
One of the best barbers in Philly.
One of the best barbers in Philly, hands down. Mm-hmm. We want to welcome to the pod, Terrence T. Gooder Hall. What's up, bro?
What's going on? How you making out?
What's good?
Yes, sir.
How you feel on this beautiful, happy Sunday, man?
Oh, man, it's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day?
Yes.
Okay. I see you Gucci'd up. He Gucci. If y'all know T, y'all know he gonna throw that ish on.
Hold on. Even when he cut.
You got that ish on. You know what I mean? So what's good, man? You looking fresh to death today. Huh?
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. Yes, sir.
How your day going, man?
Man, it's a beautiful day out there. Nice weather.
Nice
I'm just hanging in there, just, shooting the breeze.
Blessed to be alive, right?
Yes, sir.
Any day above ground is a good one.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
But we gonna talk about you today, man.
Okay.
Some of the things, and in the barber life, the stylist life.
Yes.
In Philadelphia. We from Philadelphia. He's a barber in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. How long you been cutting, man?
Wow, man, I've been cutting for like 37 years. 38,
37
to 38.
Wow,
I might be on my 38th.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What part? You said 38 years.
Yes.
Wow. He done been through
So hold on. So I'm doing the math now. So I must have been one of the first victims, yo. I was a victim when you started cutting me.
Well, you wasn't a victim.
No, I mean it was all good, but you was cutting your teeth when you started cutting me.
No, I was grinding then.
Okay.
I was trying to be the best then.
Okay.
Right.
I was trying to be the best I can be.
Right. How old were you
know what I
when you
mean?
started?
I was 11.
Damn, 11. Can you imagine that? Picking up some clippers at 11 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what gave you what made you want to start cutting? Like who was it somebody? What inspired you to start at that early age?
Well, at that time, I couldn't get a haircut myself.
Okay.
And
Now, why? Why couldn't you get a haircut though?
my mom was just delaying. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that she couldn't afford it. She was just delaying.
She was like, "Oh, you ain't that bad. You can wolf a little longer."
Yeah.
Okay. She was working, or she was
Probably just, I don't know. She was bomb.
Okay.
Okay. But she was delaying, and a friend of mine had the shavers. It was like a shaver, and you could pull the thing up.
Okay.
And you can
Do a little
touch
up.
Well, you can shape yourself up with the thing you pull up.
I know what you're talking about. Back in the day, you could just it's like the shavers you use now.
Yeah.
But it's like the edger at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know exactly.
And
what
I just did a bowl cut around my head, but it was so straight. My mom bought me a pair of clippers.
Wow. So
she saw it.
So pretty much your mom discovered your talent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And the funny thing about it, y'all, he's been cutting our hair for what? How long?
He's been cutting me. Like I said, he probably was. You wasn't even in high
14.
school yet, I don't think. Yeah, maybe
I was
your
14
freshman year.
when I started
maybe
cutting
a
y'all.
freshman year.
He's been cutting us for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Over 30 years. Easy.
Yeah.
But what I was getting ready to say is it's crazy because his mom discovered them.
Yeah.
And back then, it was what? How much was haircuts back then?
Man, haircuts back then.
$5 maybe.
Yep.
$10.
Yeah.
$4. They had a $4
like
special
$5.
at Lee's Barber Shop around the corner on Madeira. $4 on Wednesdays, and I couldn't get a haircut.
So that's where his inspiration came from.
Yeah,
it didn't even come from someone he's seen, or he just picked up the clippers and he found this talent at 11.
Yeah, I thought I can do it. I thought I can do it. I said, all right, I can make a bowl around my head.
So that was your very first haircut on yourself.
Yes, wow. I cut my own hair. Wow, cut my own hair. Bald, fade, bowl.
And this is crazy.
No blend.
We never knew.
I never knew this.
Yeah,
No, I
we
never
never
knew
knew
this.
this.
Yeah.
We've been cutting our hairs forever.
Yeah.
Forever. So, all right. So that was your inspiration.
Yes.
That was your very first haircut, period, and it was on yourself.
Yes.
Now, moving forward, starting to cut other people. When was that next haircut?
I cut my friend across the street, Damon. And Damon had Andis clippers in his house. And it had the adjustable taper level on the side. And I was like, wow, well, maybe I can do something different now. You know what I mean?
So you got inspired.
Right. I was looking at, I'm looking like, wow, this can make me better.
Okay.
So I was like, well, now I ain't got to have a bowl around my head. You know what I mean? So I thought like,
Now, did you know about the tapers back then?
no,
You didn't.
no.
So what kind of haircut was you getting?
Me?
Yeah.
I was getting a close jaw,
Okay. Pretty much the 1.5 that all the little kids got.
an open blade
Right.
against the grain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I was getting. You know, and
Mom come in like, yeah, take it down, take it low.
right. That's what my mom gave me.
No fade or nothing.
Right.
So now getting back to the baldy and the fade and the clippers, you said you discovered those clippers and it had the adjustments on it.
Yes. Yes.
So what did you start doing with the clippers after that? Did you create the bowl cut and then start playing with it, trying to fade it in?
Well, when I saw that feature, I knew it does something different as far as fading.
Got you.
And I recognized that at 11 years old. You feel me?
Right.
So I started learning about the instruments then. But my mind was there. You know what I'm saying?
You was locked in.
Yes. You know, and when I did that, I said to myself, like, wow, this is going to take me to the next level. It didn't.
So how
It
did
didn't.
So
But, you know.
how did you talk your man across the street, your neighbor? How'd you talk him into cutting you? What was going on with him where he would allow you? I'm just thinking myself.
At 11.
At 11,
They was kids. They was just
right.
you know
Like
what I mean?
you haven't cut. You can't show me anybody else you cut. Like how did that come about?
He liked it, my haircut.
Okay, so he was like, man, that
He's
look
like, man,
pretty
do my
decent."
job with these.
Okay.
Even though I said it didn't take me to the next level, it did.
It did because it gave you that it was more out there.
It gave me, how can I say? It gave
you
me
inspiration and a direction to go in.
right,
It gave you
exactly.
something to look forward to.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't perfect, but I was like, okay, well, this is how you fade.
Right.
You know, and I learned from that adjustable taper level on the side of the Andis clipper, and they were masters, the Andis masters. I learned from that. Wow, this is how you fade. Never knew nothing about guards. It was just the adjustable side on the thing.
That's that black clipper, the big black clipper with the.
No, that was the metal Andis master, the silver one.
Okay, the silver one with the.
Yes.
I know.
So when it had the little lever on the side,
the
that
lever on the side.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was the Andis master clipper, and I never knew about guards until I bought some speed masters and trendsetters.
So, at 11.
M. Jones.
At 11, you discovered your calling. Now, was there anything else that you wanted to do in life as a career, like play sports or take up some kind of trade or be something else?
Well, I watched my dad frame the basement in my house. And when I watched him do that, I was inspired by it.
Okay.
And it made me want to build houses like my dad. You know what I mean? And
When it's funny, he talking about he want to be a builder. This boy can't put together a Lego set right now. Am I lying?
You're right.
But go ahead, finish up.
When I seen my dad do that, it just made me feel like I want to be like you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And
Shout out to Mr. Wallace too.
yes, sir.
Mr. Wallace, yeah.
Yes,
no
sir. That's
doubt.
daddy.
Yeah.
And you know, I saw it and I was like, damn, I want to, you know, you want to be like your dad, you know? And, you know, thank God he was there,
Right.
for one. And I appreciate my dad to this day.
And your mom, because you grew up in a 2-parent household. So
Yeah,
that's you know,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
fortunate.
Mr. Wallace is I mean, a father figure to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
call
for
I call him
years.
dad.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I mean?
doubt, for
I call him
years.
dad. You know,
Definitely an inspiration. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We all, you know, from the sidelines, you know, watched him and got inspiration.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To, you know, how to raise a family and be a man in the household from him.
exactly.
Yeah.
When we was boys.
Yeah. We was young as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know?
So pretty much, Mr. Wallace was an inspiration to do better, to do something,
Yes.
to do something.
Yes.
But your calling was being a barber.
Well, I take from watching him building to building on a haircut.
So you took his work ethic and applied it to what you wanted to do.
Right. Because my mom was in the computer field and my dad sort of kind of was like an artist, teacher.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those two minds is here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I applied that to cutting hair.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a good pathway to start, and good examples to lead into the direction that you want to go in as far as your career and your you know, your journey, and you know, having parents. That's how important it is to have parents too.
Yeah,
you know?
that believe in you. You know what I mean? That see something before he even really saw it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
wow, I see what you did there. Let me get you some clippers.
Exactly.
And it led you down the pathway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: do you can you describe like your first barbershop experience, and like what was the atmosphere back then compared to now?
I was in 9th grade. And wow. I started working at my mom's hairdresser shop.
Oh, Monique had her hairdresser shop.
Right. I started
She would
working.
get her hair done.
Yep. But she started working. She asked the guy, "Can I work there?" He cuts hair.
Now, how old were you then?
9th grade, 14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
14.
I was 14. So I had a few years experience and clientele. I had clientele from 11 years old. So I'm cutting the guys in the neighborhood, and you know, once I started working at that shop, it was
Was you
slow.
Was you cutting Ray back then?
Say it again.
Was you cutting Ray yet?
Fat boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cutting fat boy.
Eric too.
Yeah. Huh?
Eric.
Yep.
So they were some of your
They
first
was the
clients.
first client. Yeah, they was on the block.
Shout out to Eric and Ray.
Ray, yeah,
Yes,
no
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
But in that shop, it was slow because I was nobody.
Right.
You know, I was nobody. It was just, you know, young boy cutting hair, whatever.
Yeah, a 9th grader, freshman.
Right. 9th grader, freshman.
You remember the name of that shop?
Exclusive hair design.
Where was that at?
That was right there at Broad and Stenton, right where I used to work at, on top of the shop.
Oh, okay, it was on top back
Right.
then.
Exclusive hair design. The guy name was Chaz A. Vincent.
What was it? What was it recently? It was like a church or something. What was up there?
Well, it's a church now.
It's a church.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
church now.
Yeah.
But Chaz Vincent used to own that joint, Exclusive Hair Design, and that was the first shop I ever worked in when I was 14. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Now, when you start working at the shop, were there other barbers in there?
No,
It was just you were the only barber, pretty
I was
much.
the only barber,
And
yep.
it was what? Females doing hair? pretty
Yes.
much? Okay.
Yep.
So it was stylists. So did you ever have a mentor or someone that guided you in the early days to kind of move your career forward?
wow. There was this one bull that used to cut around the corner that was cutting everybody in the neighborhood.
Just out of his house.
No,
Okay.
he was in the shop.
He was in the shop. Okay.
But this bull was doing shit that was just,
He was like, man, how you do that?
he was the artist.
Yeah.
For real. And I admired his skills.
Where was it though? Was it the lines? Was it the fade? Or
I'm gonna tell you what it was.
but actually, wait a minute. What type of haircuts was going on back then? It was pretty much.
It was
low
high
cuts.
joints, high cuts, faded, you know, and the dark phase was just coming into play. You know what I mean? But this guy was doing something different. He was. It was amazing the shit that he was doing that drew my attention because one of his clients came to me a week later after he cut his hair and said, "Yo, cut my hair," and I looked like
I don't want to touch it.
your hair is cut.
Yeah, you
Right,
good.
right.
I was like,
You don't need no cut.
"No, I'm looking like what you want me to do to this?
Okay.
What do you want me to do to this?"
Right,
I'm looking like, cut it. This joint look good. You know? And I was like, who cut your hair?
Right.
He was like, Lightfoot.
Shout out to Foot.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Hair Company.
I said, where you cut it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He said, King's Barbershop over Ogans. You know? And
Now you said Foot cut his hair, but the guy that was in the hair salon cut his hair also?
no, foot cutting.
Okay.
And when he sat in my chair, I'm looking like, I was afraid, to be honest, to cut his hair because I ain't want to fuck up what was already going on.
Yeah, it already looks excellent. So
And
why
it was
you
a
want me
week
to do
later.
something? Right.
So I'm looking like, who the fuck cut your hair?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So hair is pretty much where you kind of learn how to perfect your craft. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
And kind of that haircut was kind of like a blueprint for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Somewhat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was when the gates opened, the floodgates opened
Oh,
up. Like,
man.
oh, okay.
I realized where I was at cutting.
It was a whole nother level.
It was.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I realized like, damn, I'm not there,
Right.
but I want to be there.
So you basically didn't have no schooling, no nothing. You was
No,
pretty
I
much-
got some schooling.
You're pretty much no. I'm saying you didn't go to a school to learn, to get a certificate, this, that, and the third. Everything with you was pretty much hands-on experience.
Back then.
Well, yeah, back then it was, but I eventually went to Swenson Skill Center,
Okay.
and I said to myself when I was in 9th grade, I said, I'm gonna cut all these dudes so they can pimp, and I'm gonna be the pimp, and I'm gonna get all the chicks when I do their hair. So Swenson Skill Center only offered cosmetology.
Yeah, I remember Swenson. I went to Swenson too.
Right. So because it offered cosmetology, I was like, I'm gonna do these females' hair too. You know what I mean? I ain't gay,
Right.
but you know, I was gonna do that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but at the end of the day, what happened was when I was in Swenson, it was too much freaking hair.
What do you mean too much hair?
It was too much hair. The part, hold the rat
Oh,
tail
you talking about for
comb.
females?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold the rat tail comb, hold the scissors, hold the curling iron. You gotta do all that at the same time.
Right.
And it's like, and do all that.
So that kind of turned you off from doing.
Turned me
females'
off.
hair?
I said, give me some clippers. I cut all this shit off.
Right. Now going to Swenson, I remember myself going to Swenson, and Swenson was kind of an integrated school. It was blacks, it was whites, it was all different kind of nationalities. You know, I mean, did you have any challenges that you faced as a black barber growing up and starting off?
Challenges. The only challenge that I had was
As a black person, you know what I mean?
not really.
Not really.
But the challenge that I did have was all my clients holding a mirror in front of them, telling me what to do. That was my challenge.
So they were trying to tell you how to cut their hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was listening because I wasn't cutting regular people.
Right.
I was cutting people from the hood that was somebody.
Now, were you at that point? Were you kind of still timid? Did you have your confidence? Or
I had my confidence, but it was timid.
okay,
Absolutely.
and that's why you continued to listen to them.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that kind of taught you too, because
Absolutely.
they knew what they wanted, and
Absolutely.
you just followed their guide.
Absolutely.
That kind of helped.
When they showed me what to do, oh, hit it right here, hit it right here, do this and it. I knew. All right, do a little, not a lot. You know what I mean? And when you do a little, not a lot,
less is always more.
Right. And at the end of the day, I said to myself then, I can't cut all their hair off. I can't do that. I have to gradually get to what they talking about.
Because you can always take off, but you can't put on.
Right.
That's why I say
Right.
less is always more.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
But it's funny that his inspiration, like when he was at that little transition stage, he said, I'm gonna cut everybody so they can go out and get the joints, and it's gonna make me a pimp too.
Yeah.
Well, we was getting a lot of joints from them haircuts. He was getting.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when you talk about pimps and Johns, I remember we was in LA one time. And what's the boy, the Brian Pumper? Remember?
Yeah.
Man, he was cutting me when I had hair. Y'all notice I don't have a hat on today, y'all. I'm doing the episode without a hat. I got the baldy today, but he was cutting me when I had waves, when I had hair, and my Jones was laying, Phil. Like, the waves was flowing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody know the boy Brian Pumper. You know what I mean? That got
porn bull.
The porn guy. He came up to me. He was like, "Yo, fam, who cut your hair? This, that, and the third." I was like, "He did right here." He was like, "What you use in it?" I use this, that, and the third. I was like,
he was saying that. Yeah,
I don't use nothing. I was like, you gotta talk to him. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? These T-Gutter cuts are definitely on point. You know what I mean? But shout out to Brian Pumper. That was a crazy night, but he definitely was on the cut.
We had fun that night.
Yeah, But before we move any further, this episode is sponsored by who, Phil?
What?
Exclusive Moss.
Exclusive Moss, okay. Your Moss boss.
Your Moss boss. You know what I mean? It's a powerhouse for your health. It boosts energy. It improves your digestion and supports immunity. Exclusive Moss shares Irish moss from Ireland, and that's in the Atlantic coast. It provides 92 minerals out of 102. Exclusive Moss comes in gel, capsules. You can also get fruit juices in several flavors. Man, listen.
That watermelon, I still gotta try it.
Ooh, that watermelon, yo. Oh,
I
my
guess
goodness. Man,
I still gotta try it.
that watermelon crazy, man. So
yeah, I had mango. I had what's the sour sop. Both of them was official too. I got it. I ain't tried that watermelon yet. So
make
Moss
sure,
boss, I'm coming.
Make sure y'all tap into Exclusive Moss. You know what I mean? Your Moss boss. You can check them at demoss.com. That's www.themoss.com. That's www.themoss.com. Exclusive Moss, your Moss boss.
Moss boss.
And don't forget to add the promo code the pod. You also get a 10% discount.
That's right.
What else they do? Today is what day, Phil?
Today is Sunday. They deliver
There you go.
in the tri-state on Sundays, on the weekends.
They deliver, yeah. Jersey, Philly, Delaware.
Yep.
They deliver. So make sure y'all tap into the Moss Balls.
Yes, sir.
demoss.com. Now let's move on and let's talk about a little bit more. Let's talk about your growth and the elevation of the industry.
Yes.
Like how have the barber techniques and styles evolved over the past 3 decades? You got 3 decades in, so you've seen a lot. You know what I mean? Tell us about the techniques, the clippers, the styles of things, how things changed since you started.
Okay. When I first started, they had these Andis clippers. They were called trendsetters and Speedmasters.
I remember that name, Speedmaster.
Speedmasters was burgundy. The trendsetters was black. And depending on which blade you put on those clippers, you can work miracles.
Okay.
Because they were so strong. They were strong They was like the strongest clippers at that time.
Now, were they to lay it down or lines, or they were the clippers that lay your hair down?
Andis was the boss back in, I'll say, early 90s. Early 90s, Andis had it on lock.
Yeah, everybody know about Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had it on lock. Oster and Wall.
Every barber shop you go in is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see that. You
Yeah.
want to see that. And, you know, it was different brands out then, but they didn't do the job like Andis.
Okay.
Depending on the type of cut you were wanting to do. Only because different blades cut differently.
Now that was in the beginning.
Yes.
And how long were those clippers around before things started to
Oh,
change?
man, they've been around forever.
When did things start to change and like go to a different type of clipper, a different type of brand, or?
Well, Andis, Wall, and Oster's been around for a long time.
Right.
It changed when Baby Babyliss,
Baby Bliss. Or,
Baby Bliss,
yeah.
Babyliss,
Right.
you know, when they came around and they just made a solid built clipper that made the clipper strong. You know, and I noticed it, and it didn't really change the game too much because at that time I was already familiar with how blades cut.
You was a little more seasoned.
Yeah, I was seasoned. I was seasoned on how blades cut, and I didn't really see the difference in the Babyliss clippers until I used it with another clipper.
Now, as far as like techniques and styles of cutting, did the clippers, you know, make a difference as everything started to evolve?
Absolutely.
Or was it the clippers or is it the barber?
Listen,
Or a little bit of both?
listen. The clippers, if your clippers are set right, that's half the battle.
Okay.
You know, that's half the battle. Now you gotta know what to do with them.
Right.
You gotta know how to be an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta know how to use these things to bring out what you want out of the haircut.
and that's the key word.
Right.
Be an artist. Everybody not looking to do that.
Yes.
That's what motivated you. You looked around and said, man, I want to create this in a haircut.
Right.
But a lot of barbers out here just like, I just want to get,
It's
you know
just
what I
like
mean?
a job at McDonald's.
Right. You know what I mean?
Somebody's
Like,
trying to
give
make
me,
some bread.
yeah, give me my $20, give me my $15.
Right.
And they're not trying to put that work in there to create something that you can get done and be like, I did that.
That's because people want to get money.
Right.
I ain't want to get the money first. I ain't want to get the money. I wanted to be
The best.
I wanted to be the best and create my name.
And you were doing what you enjoyed doing.
Right.
You was living in your purpose.
Right.
So that's heavy right there. That's heavy. Let me ask you this. What were some of the popular hairstyles when you started? You know what I mean? Can you compare any of those hairstyles?
Box
when you started?
haircuts.
And what's so funny, what I was going to ask you, compare them to the day. It's pretty much like all the haircuts we had back in the day, it's evolving back to now, pretty much.
Okay, well, they had box haircuts, fades, dark fades, and Gumbies.
I was about to say Gumby
Pumps.
for sure.
A pump was when the hair come forward and there'd be a big ass pump out here.
They used to call it a
You know,
Jeff.
Yeah, the Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, they had that.
Back,
It
I
wasn't
know
too many.
back then, those were the hairstyles, but the key back then are different. I don't see it much now, every now and then, but you would get designs in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I
It was
never-
designed.
That was
I
big
never
back
was a
then.
Design guy.
Right.
I got some lines.
Right. They had glitter.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Glitter.
Oh, yeah. I did see. I never did the glitter.
You know, it was creative back
Right,
then.
right.
Now, far as the style, it was creative back then. But far as from styles and techniques from back then to now, what I would say is the biggest change and difference is the dyes. The dyes.
Well-
the Beijings, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest.
That's the biggest difference, you know what I mean, from back then to now.
I'm gonna be honest. And people probably don't know this, and I'm gonna say it on camera. Your brother, Al, when we was in the 7th grade, I dyed his hair
Really?
in the 7th grade
Wow.
when he had a fro.
Okay.
He had a fro and like a chin strap beard.
And people wasn't doing them back then.
I think I remember that
Wow,
cut too.
that's
It's a
great.
picture. It's a
know you
picture
do.
of that
I think
thing
I
with him
remember
in that cut.
Was it you, Miz?
That thing was black.
That cut?
I mean, dark.
It was you, him, Miz. It was somebody else, I think.
I did it in 7th grade. I'm not saying I'm the creator.
I mean, you can say it.
I'm
You
not.
can say it.
I don't even want to take none of that. I just want to be who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I dyed Al's hair back in 7th grade. And
Shout out to my brother Al.
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, when we got to 9th grade, that's when that shit started popping.
So you dyed his hair in the 7th grade, and dyes start popping off in the 9th. Now, after you did
In the 9th grade to 10th grade, it started popping.
Now, after you did Al's hair that first time, did you continue to keep doing it?
No,
So you just chilled.
I just did it
was
just
something
because
you did.
I was like,
what made you want to do that though?
I don't know.
He had a hair full of hair.
He
back
did.
then.
He did.
It wasn't-
Did he know about it, or was it just something you was like, yo, let me do this?
I just threw it in there.
Okay.
It wasn't
just
no
being creative.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I got dye, let me put this dye in here.
Wow.
And it wasn't the way people were doing it.
Right.
It was just, I wanted to do it. I wanted to be creative, and that was it.
Wow. And then you said in the 9th grade, that's when people started doing it.
Yes. In the 9th grade, going into the 10th.
Now, were you cutting at a shop then when you did Al's dye?
No,
You was cutting from the crib.
I was coming from the crib.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, when you seen people starting to dye their hairs, how did it make you feel? Like, what did you say? Did you start doing it, or did you feel like, damn, I did that, now they biting off of me? You just kept being who you were.
Yeah, it just kept being me.
Kept it moving.
Yeah, I mean, because, anybody
that's not-
can do it.
That's not your personality anyway.
Right,
But,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So-
Anybody can do it,
Right.
but I just kept being me and just kept it moving. And when I saw the creativity when I saw the creativity on how people were doing it, I was like, wow, that shit looked good. I was like, damn, you know what? I want to be like that. You know what I mean? It just kept building me up. Throughout my career, watching Lightfoot and seeing things that were out there kept building me up to be better and better. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to be good. That's it. I just wanted to be good.
So it's funny because you mentioned Foot, and everybody watching, Lightfoot, Philadelphia Hair Company, well known to this day. But what I remember, and it's funny because as we was coming up, we traveling, we would go to the Freaknik, we out, we on the road going to Black College, weekend. Everybody knew we was from Philly from our haircuts.
Oh, yes, sir.
So our haircuts in Philly stood out already.
Across the whole country.
Right, across the whole country. And to be a barber in Philly with the mindset to say, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna keep getting better to, just sharpening my blade in this trade. It's crazy because I remember the first barbershop I remember you at was Jay Sheer Magic.
Yes, sir.
Another legendary, barbershop in Philadelphia.
Shout out to
Jay. Yeah, no
Shout
doubt.
out to Jay.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Jay put a lot of people on, man.
Yeah. So,
I was 16.
when you first started off, you was, starting, but you was at two of the biggest, hair barbershops in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're part of their legacy, man.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Jay come around my neighborhood, and when I seen the car,
Yeah,
he
he
had
had
the
some- I
sheer
know he had
magic
something
on the
nice.
front. And I knew that he
what was
a
the
barber.
BMW?
Yeah,
He had the BMW.
BMW, that was his car.
Yeah, he had the sheer magic on the front. And I was like, damn, I just took some pictures like last week.
Right.
Let me show him my pictures.
Okay.
So I ran in the house real quick. I'm a young boy. Go in, come out. Like, yo, man, please check out my pictures. Please look at them. Please, please. He looked at them. He said, come here Monday
Wow.
and bring a model with you. I said, I got you. I was 16. That was the beginning. For real.
Tell us a little more about cutting in J's.
Man. Well, when I first started there,
That was the Broad Street location, correct?
yeah, when I
You was
first
in the
started,
basement.
I was in the basement.
in
Yeah,
the basement.
I was in the basement. You know, Jay didn't want me the spotlight.
He was
Because
he was just trying you out.
because you supposed to have a license. So that's what
He didn't want me to be the spotlight.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? That part.
Right.
You know, and he knew I can cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually started cutting his hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that time it was George in there and Sean Shizzy.
Rich was in there.
Rich, no, not then.
Rich wasn't in there then? Damn. You was there before Rich?
After
What about Mo Better?
he was there.
James was there, right?
James was there.
Okay.
Yep.
Shout out to those guys. Everybody
Yes,
from
sir.
J Share Magic back in the day.
Yes, sir. Mo Better was there. In the front, it was J Chair, Mo Better, and Sean. And no, damn, George was there. George was leaving to get his own shop.
Wait a minute. George came after you, didn't he?
No, Sean was on the other side, and it was Mo Better and George, and Sean was on the other side, and then Sean moved over after George left.
What's Sean? Shiz?
Yes.
Damn. Now, if everybody out there that get cuts, y'all know these names. These legendary
barbers in Philly.
Legendary
Yes.
barbers in Philly. And
Yes.
I'm gonna give shout out to all of them. You know what I
Yeah, no
mean?
doubt.
I see Sean at the gym every now and then. What's
Yep.
up, Shiz?
What's
You know
up,
what I mean?
Shizzy?
Shiz be tapping into the pod too, y'all.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Shiz, shout out to everybody else. But
Yes,
go ahead
sir.
and finish, man.
From there, like, you know, like I was in the basement. I was in the basement, you know, and I was just trying to. Even then, that made me hungry. It made me hungry. Like, what? You got me in the basement? I was 16. I still was like, no. They gonna see this shit coming out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? They gonna see it coming out from underneath. Who the fuck down there?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was on my jaw. I was on my
When
jaw.
cats came up the steps, everybody was like, damn. Damn.
Hey, listen.
That thing crazy.
Listen, then my boy Irv, he said to me, he said, T, you gotta put the razor in your hand. He showed me how to use the razor. Irv. When I was at J Share
I
Magic.
think I remember Irv.
Irv.
I think I remember
Irv had the waves that came across.
side joints.
And Foot used to cut his hair then.
Really?
He used to go to Foot. I used to be like, damn. I always ask Irv, let me cut your hair. He said, nah, I go to Foot. And he had a high jaw, round jaw, but the waves came around. They like wrapped around his head.
Okay.
And he would not let me cut it.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Back in those J Share Magic days, was there like any like animosity or competition between the barbers? Like
No, everybody was
not
cool.
beef, but like
No.
nobody
No.
was trying to outcut nobody, huh?
Everybody respected
It was
everybody.
love.
Yeah,
It was love.
everybody respected everybody. It was
Jay
like
must
crazy.
have had like what 10 maybe 15 barbers in there at one time, man.
I mean,
Was that the only location you cut at?
Well, I went there at Broadway and Hockin, and then I went up Stanton and Mount Airy. You know, and
that was the
two
second location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those two J shops I worked in, and you know that was it. But, you know, as far as working in Share Magic, but moving forward on a low, people don't know about this. I still was going to Foot to get my hair cut when I was working there. I'm in Foot chair. He cut me. I'm watching everything he do. He used to say to me, "What you think about working here?" What? I'm 18 years old. Working here? I always dreamed of working here. You know what I mean? At that time, I'm 18. He go and say, well, you know, bring a model in on Monday. You can cut right there. In my head, I'm like, how do he know I cut hair? He asked me to cut.
Did you ever ask him that? How did he find out?
I never asked Foot that.
Never asked him?
Because I always looked at him like a legend of cutting hair. So it was certain conversations or
the respect.
right? That respect level of me talking to him was different.
Plus his demeanor, Foot demeanor back then was just completely unapproachable.
Yeah,
Sort of, kinda.
Foot always.
I got some Foot stories.
Right. You know what I mean? So me being a young bull, I was sitting there like, damn, like, okay, don't say nothing. Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I went with the flow and I went up there, cut somebody, and I love this mom, man, Miss Lightfoot. God rest her soul.
Rest in peace, Miss Lightfoot.
Miss Lightfoot. Yeah.
You know,
She was the mom that
Yes, she
anybody
was,
that ever walked through the doors of the hair company. Yo.
yes,
no
yes,
doubt.
sir. You know, and I felt her taking a liking of me. And she might have saved my job in that shop for 13 years that I worked there. You know what I mean? Because I know Foot was ready to fire my ass. You know, I was wilding. You know what I mean? I was wilding, doing this. You know, and you know, I felt like I could do that and wake up the next day and.
Well, let's talk about the experience when you first got into the shop, though. After he told you to bring the model and you know you could start here, what happened after that?
Who was the model? You remember?
Damn! Wow! Oh man! No, I don't. I don't. That and you know I remember a lot of shit, but I can't remember that.
Who you bought?
Yeah. I can't remember that. But not long after that, they were doing a magazine.
I remember that.
So when you brought the model and you start cutting, how did it start? You know, how was the experience there? Like, did people start noticing, you know, your skills? Like, did you create relationships with the other barbers there? Because you're in like one of the top barber shops in the city. You got Foot there, and who else was there? As far as that was cutting back in those days, can you remember them?
Okay. Telly was working there. Telly used to cut next to Foot. And
Of course, Joe was there. Shout out to Joe Millette.
Joe Millette was there.
He was in the next chair, I think.
It was Joe, Foot, Telly,
Damn, Telly.
Paris,
Yo, them the originals right there, yo. Damn.
Willie Gill. I want to say Gene. That's Gene. Gene was there. Slick Rick. Johnny Harvey. Tone. Tone was nice though. Because it was one time Foot wasn't there and I went to Tone and I went to Telly. Both of them gave me different cuts, but it was crazy.
Right.
It was crazy. I appreciate both of them. Both of them barbers was crazy. Willie Gill cut my hair. He was crazy. Slick Rick cut my hair. He was crazy. You know what I mean?
Did you cut any of their hair?
I used to cut Tone. I used to cut Willie Gill. I used to cut Slick. I used to cut every barber in there.
Actually, he cut Slick Rick this morning.
I did. Yeah. I used to cut every barber in there. I cut Foot hair a couple times, you know, for a hair show. Wow, man. Those days was just upbringing.
Now, the days in the hair company,
Yeah.
a lot of people came through that barbershop.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities, a lot of, you know, big names in the streets.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the people that you cut that might be celebrities or you know, big people, you know, with some big names around.
I'm not putting nobody out there, first of all. But as far as celebrities, I cut when I was 16 working at Jay's. I cut UMass team, Marcus Camby, Lou Roll, and all them.
Okay.
A friend of mine gave me a phone call. Yo, they down to Four Seasons. Can you come down and cut them? I'm like, what? Let's go. You know, I cut Lou Rowe, Marcus Camby, and I can't remember the other guys. I started cutting Michael Blackson when I was 18.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike. Yeah.
I started cutting Mike when I was 18. Foot threw me a boxer guy the cut on
you
a
cut
Monday.
Simeon Rice too, didn't you?
Yeah,
I cut Simeon Rice.
Simeon, yeah.
Simeon Rice. Carell Buckhalter. Damn, I cut Jameer Miller, that played for Arizona. I cut Kevin Williams from Dallas. Oh man, like it's a lot.
So pretty much that atmosphere and just working there puts you on the map to cutting a lot of celebrities and big name people.
Yes. You know, because I my approach to cutting at that time was like, yo, stay focused to be good. You know what I mean? I wanted to be good. I wanted to be that guy.
Now, being as though you were in that shop, you were around so many different, types of people, it never influenced you to go a different route or just stay focused on cutting. You knew that was your
I knew that was it.
you knew that was
I knew that was it.
You stayed on your path.
Yeah, because cutting at that time
It was big.
was the gravity from it. You know what I mean? The gravity from cutting and building a name with cutting.
So like cats run to the street and do some of the BS to build a name. You built your name behind cutting.
Yes.
That's heavy, right?
And
That's heavy.
it helped that we was known for haircuts.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I mean? So you was in a mecca of haircuts, you know what I'm saying? And developing into one of the best barbers to do it. So it
I don't call
allowed you.
myself the best. You did.
Well, yeah.
Right.
we know. You know what I mean? We've been doing this for a long time.
I never call myself the best.
Yeah.
Now,
Never.
that name T Gooder, where'd that name come from? Like, who gave it to you? And,
Probably Willie Gill, probably.
No, real
What?
roller.
and tell the people, what's the meaning behind it?
I don't know the meaning behind it, but Real Roller gave me that name. He was in the shop. He's like, T Gooder, man, let me use your cell phone, because I had one of them flip Johns, the burnout. He said, let me use your phone, T Gooder. And then Willie Gill started calling me T Gooder.
That's the first person I heard say.
Right.
Gill, yeah.
But Willie Gill was cutting Real Roller at the time. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So Real Roller, that's Bobo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So
Yep.
pretty much the hair company was your favorite place to cut, wasn't it? You cut at a few places, but far as just like
The
shop,
hair company is what built me to who I am.
Because you was probably there the longest too.
Right. The hair company built me to who I am now, and the clientele built me. The clientele in that shop
and the relationship
built my name.
and the relationships you created.
And being able to
Right.
watch foot
Right.
up close and personal like
Not
that.
just him. I was watching
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
I took something from this one.
Yeah.
I took something from that one. Give me some of that. Give me some of that. Put it in this pot. Let's stir it up.
But
Here I go.
don't get it twisted. They took stuff from you
Oh yeah.
too.
No
That's
doubt.
fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You gotta pat yourself on the back too sometimes.
Because a barber is not going to let anybody cut their hair. When you a barber,
Yeah.
And
you letting another barber cut your hair, you know
I
that
felt
person is
honored to
official.
cut
That's
their-
props right there.
Right.
Listen, when I started cutting them, I felt so honored. Like, damn, you sitting in my chair.
Right.
I was a kid. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was crazy. Yeah.
Have you noticed a shift how younger barbers approach the business compared to, your generation?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and it might be a shame that I'm saying this. I be in my own world. I don't really be paying attention to the youngins.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's not only if a youngin grab my attention.
And I was about to say that. Is it just because you don't pay attention, or is it just because you haven't really run into nobody that had that passion to really elevate they level like that?
Well, what it is
Kind of how I think probably Foot felt
With
about you.
Yeah.
right.
Because you like, yo, how you even know I cut? Because
Right.
he was watching, he probably was hearing, he was like,
Right.
the young boy.
What would grab my attention is seeing their hunger. Now, it was a guy that I was working at 215 Professionals, back in Stenton,
Right.
and there was a young guy named Shaq. and I like
That
his
was the
energy.
young boy that was boxing.
They had
Right,
boxing.
young boy that
Why
boxed.
you ain't take him under your wing?
I tried.
Okay.
And not only tried, I was like, hey, come here, let me show you how to, this is how I do it. You could take it and run with it. I don't care. You know what I mean? This is what I do, how I do it. What you think of that? You know what I mean? Like, I gotta see the hunger.
So you don't think the YNs out here these days have the same passion when it comes to the craft itself?
I don't know, but if I had guessed, I would think that they would be on it for the money, not the passion. You know what I mean? And it's about a passion with this because that's what builds your name.
And you're catering to someone's needs.
Right.
So it's kind of like being a doctor or a nurse.
Absolutely.
Or,
you got to have a passion.
But you got a lot of them that's not had that passion either. They just
Right.
doing it for the paycheck as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I say you got to have a passion.
Right.
Because if you don't have that passion, it's going to show.
Right.
That's why I said I gravitate to hunger. If I see this bull just trying to get it, yo, come here, let me show you something.
Like speeding through a cut. Like,
If you speeding through a cut, I ain't fucking with you.
man, let me tell y'all.
But if I see you looking like you trying to get it, yo, come here, let me show you something.
Let me tell y'all about this guy, man. It's been days. He's had me in. This is when I had hair, of course. He's had me in his chair for an hour and a half. Tell him, Phil. He would not let you get up until it was. I'm like, yo, T, it's good. Yup. No,
Yeah.
literally, it's been over an hour I've sat in the chair, yo. That's how passionate he is about his craft. So, I me personally, we've been through our trials and tribulations and this, that, and the third, but I gotta big up him when it comes to the passion and the desire that he has and the dedication that he has to his craft. Yo, I gotta give you that, bro.
Thank you.
I love you, man.
Appreciate that.
Love you, bro.
Thank that.
Seriously.
No doubt, man. No doubt. You know it.
Yes, sir.
But moving on, damn, that moment just kind of got me because
that was a real moment.
I don't think we never really gave him his props like that.
Right.
And we doing it on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this gonna be documented. So that came from the heart right there, yo. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that appreciate you, that would agree with everything I just said, man. What you think, Phil?
Without question. You know what I mean? And that's he. You hear him say, "Oh, I don't call myself that," but there's hundreds of people that would give you the same title that I gave you. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Because I mean, honestly, and as we all learning here today, it come from first being passionate about wanting to be the best. That was where it started.
Yeah.
At 11, you know what I mean, doing a bowl cut.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
man, you know what? I want to learn this and I want to be the best at it. That's what drives you to growing, watching everybody else. Nobody had to call you over. He just said it. He looking at, let me get a little bit of that, bit of that.
He went out and got it
right,
himself.
got it yourself. That's passion. Whereas, we asking about, well, how about the young boys now? He's saying, well, I need somebody to kind of show me. No, people gonna show you they want it because they over there peeping at your station.
Yeah.
That's how you show that you really trying to get it and go to another level. So, you know what I mean? It's strong and it showed even till today, you know what I mean? That passion back then when he was 11, 12, 13 years old, you know what I mean, blossom into, you know what I mean, him being one of the best barbers to ever do it in Philly.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, big up to T Gooder, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
But
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, barbers, we were talking about, the comparison to, doctors and nurses and everything, but they play a different role too. They play a bigger role, like behind cutting hair. They're therapists. You know what I mean? The barbershop talk. How you feel about that? You feel like you've been a therapist to people when they sit in your chair because you got people to sit in the chair and you just start talking. They talk about their relationships. They talk about their problems. They talk about this, that, and the third. I mean, Fill us in on that as far as being a barber. Now, and does that distract you from cutting sometimes?
No, well, the distraction
Yes,
of
it
that.
does. He talking about no, y'all. Everybody out there that get a cut from him, y'all know when that mouth start running, we like, yo, come on, man.
right. It does. It takes it makes the haircut longer, but I get into my clients.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's how I built relationships with them because I talk to them and keep it real. You know what I mean? I just give them my brain. You know what I mean? And hopefully my brain ain't fucked up. You know what I mean? But you know, I give them a little bit of my brain, and it might be a dude that just came home. Matter of fact, there was one boy that just came home one time, and he said to me, I said something to him that inspired him to do right. You know, and I was just like, wow. Like, I didn't know it until he came back like years later and told me that. And I was like,
Once he took what you said and implemented it, and he done better.
I don't know what he did with it. But he just came back years later and was like, yo.
And shared it with you.
Right. And I was like, I'm looking at him like, he bull. I said something to you? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay.
But that's the power of the barbershop.
Yeah, that barbershop talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's well known, you know what I mean, all throughout, you know what I mean, the country. Like barbershops, man, it's a lot of therapy that happened inside a barbershop. And I think I was just watching something recently, and it was like females, and they was like, you want to get the real. Matter of fact, with somebody, she was like, yeah, you want to get the real. She was like, go sit in a barbershop. You'll find out about these men, everything about them.
Everything.
And she was like, I take my son to get a shape up every week. He don't need no shape up. I be in there in the corner like I ain't reading a book. I'm ear hustling.
Right. And that's crazy.
I'm gonna keep it totally transparent with you.
Yeah.
Me and him was just talking about that the other day.
Right.
About females being
In the barbershop.
in the atmosphere. When you get in the cut, because yo, that's like our man cave. We talking about everything.
Right.
So
Right.
you know,
You got a lot of like comedy skits. You see, you know, like people in there busting up, and somebody girl come in,
everybody shut up.
Right.
Either a shorty come in, they looking at her like, damn, she nice,
bad
but
Jones.
it's zipped up. Yeah, ain't nobody saying nothing. We can't let these secrets out.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. But that was cool, man. That you gave that guy, you know, some words of wisdom and took it and did better. You know, took it and implemented it in his life and did better.
Right.
Now, being as though that you told him that, like, did you ever have any challenges in your life, you know, facing with the career? Like, did you face anything that was challenging?
This.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Drinking.
Yes.
Talk about it. Now, before you go into this, I don't know how transparent you're going to be.
I'm fine with
this is a very touchy subject.
I'm fine with
everybody out here know Terrence. They know T Gutter. We're going to let this man talk with much respect.
This started at 14.
Wow. That young?
800 Red Bull.
Well, we always drinking
Crazy Horse.
We always drinking the 40s back then. You know what I mean?
Cisco. What did I say? Crazy Horse?
Yeah.
All that. Those days. And then they came out with the 64 ounce 800s.
We remember them.
Yeah.
Y'all remember them too out there.
Yeah. You know.
With the round, they was like them jugs.
Gallon.
You know, and I started drinking and started enjoying it. You know, but as I got older, I kept drinking. You know, and I had more money. So I said, fuck it. I can spend all my money tonight. I'll make it back tomorrow. Did that for years in my 20s.
Now, how did the drinking affect your career though, and you know your business?
It affected my career big time, and
because barbering, you got to be up at the shop.
Yes,
first thing in the morning.
Yes,
I mean you can go as early as 7 o'clock when people want their haircuts.
Right.
If you out partying and drinking all night, whew,
tough to get up that early.
Man, drinking affected my career so much that if I didn't build relationships with my people, you know what I mean, I won't have no clientele today.
Now, me and Phil, as we said, we've been getting our haircuts from him for over 30 years, and he's talking about his trials and tribulations with drinking, and we've experienced everything. Tell him, Phil, we everything he's been through, we experienced it. But it's a testament to how good he is at his craft that even after all the things we've been through with him and other people out there, he still has his clientele. This is one person that I know that will never lose his clientele. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you how good you are. And all praise to God. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, you know
that's
what I mean?
that part.
That he gave you that gift.
Yeah.
For people to ride with you through that. So, you know, you need to like really, you should show a customer appreciation day for your clients one day.
I do. Any of my clients can get a cut for free from me.
Don't say that on camera.
I'm going to say it on camera. All my clients can get a free cut. If you messed up and you ain't got no bread, you can get a free cut.
No, but he has a good heart. He's definitely that type of person.
I'm never like, it was one of my friends that ran up $200 on me. I wanted my money, but he ain't never give it to me. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna do? All right, you needed that cut. You need that cut to get you through to make you feel better.
Now, getting back to the drinking part, it kind of hindered your career. You think that kind of stopped you from getting to the level where you could have been?
Absolutely. And only because when you young and you got that hunger, you don't know where you're going to go as you get older. You know what I mean? So if you're doing things to hinder where you're trying to get to, that alcohol and stuff can mess around with your mindset. You know what I mean? It can mess around with your mindset, even though you doing it every day. You doing it every day. You think I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Your mind is clouded.
Now, with you saying that, do you think, okay, at this point, you're confident, you done cut so many different people, you know you the shit now.
Never felt like that.
No, I know that, but subconsciously, with the drinking, do you think you kind of took your craft and your skill for granted, just thinking it was going to be there all the time because you had that talent and that skill that you could go out, drink, party, and that the clientele was going to always be there?
No, I never felt like I took it for granted. I just like to drink.
Got you.
I like to drink. I like to look.
Have a good time. Have a party.
Yeah. I thought I was having a good time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because you drinking, you feel like, you getting fucked up. That don't mean you having a good time. You tearing your body down. You understand what I'm saying? So it's
not just tearing your body down. You put yourself in some bad situations too.
Right. You know. So at the end of the day, it's like, I think the drinking would have done to me. I could have been further. I could have been further. I could have been way further. I've been around celebrities drinking, and was cutting. I'm up New York, ready to cut Genuine, Jagged Edge, Avant, all them. I'm sitting with the road manager, taking them back. We go somewhere in Manhattan. And went to a bar.
Instead of standing on business.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Instead of standing on business. They were cool still.
Right.
Because that's what they were doing. They was like, come on with us, so we about to go to Massachusetts. Oh, okay.
So you had the opportunities.
I had plenty of opportunities.
You just didn't take advantage of them.
Man.
Because of the drinking.
Right.
You think that's going to change moving in the future after you look at this episode?
Well, there's always something in the working, in the making. There's always something in the making, and I don't drink as much as I used to.
Right. I started to say, I mean, like, over the years,
right.
We've been doing this for a long time,
right?
And I noticed, as you get older, come with maturity. You start learning from your mistakes and different things. I thought you had gotten better. You know what I mean? In my estimation, yeah. You know what I mean? As far, and I'm talking about as far as, I don't know, because I wasn't going with you when you turned up. But so I don't know about better in that aspect.
Right.
But I'm talking about how it spilled over to the business aspect.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where, sometimes, like, yo, where you at? He don't show up. You know what I mean? Like, you come in and your cut was at 1. But he like, yo, I got two, I got one in the chair and I got 2 more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's $12.50. Mm-hmm. That, we all had some of those instances back then. But
and everything.
Yeah, but I thought, as the years went on, you definitely got better where it wasn't spilling over into the business aspect, you know what I mean, as much as it did back in the day.
You know why? I lost people. I lost clientele. I lost clientele too. I ain't, I lost clientele. I don't cut every fucking body. Right. You know what I mean? I lost clients and, they ain't come back.
So that was kind of an eye opener.
Well, it is. I just kept cutting hair.
Right. You just kept it moving.
Right. I just kept it moving.
Now, while we on that topic.
Yeah, because I don't know about the eye opener part.
now on that topic, like I said, we've been getting our hair cut from him for over 30 years. And we're going to do this here live on camera. Recently, these two just had a situation as far as appointment wise, this, that, and the third. And I want us to resolve this situation right here because we've been friends too long. We not just friends, we brothers, we family. And I'm quite sure Phil won his hair cut from Terrence. And you got some explaining to do to this man. Phil,
I apologize, sir.
You want to address the situation to him, man?
I mean, so my thing is, me and T been talking for years.
Right.
And we talked about, some of this stuff, and I've been probably one of the biggest ones in his ear for decades.
Yeah.
Saying, man, you should have your own shop, you know what I mean, with you one of the best barbers in the city. Like
in the country.
Right. Like you need to, you know what I mean? Like not only do you have the prestige, you know what I mean, the name to hold the shop of your own, but also bring people in and
build them up,
elevate their level of skill.
Absolutely.
That's what you bring to the table. But as he's sharing with us here today, sometimes other things was holding him back from, you know what I mean, reaching some of those heights. Well, respectfully. But, I've had some issues. I've had some big events where, things don't line up and now you got to scramble, try to get a cut. We've had all that, but we was good for years. You know what I mean? I don't mind, getting in the chair 45, 50 minutes late.
And he's a high demand barber.
Right. That ain't no problem. But recently, and we look back at us around Thanksgiving, last year, we talking, we setting up like we always do. He has a system where you go on and you book your appointments online.
Let me stop you for a minute.
Okay.
Now, mind y'all, T cuts in Philly. Phil lives in Delaware. I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish, bro.
So,
I'm pretty sure you probably was gonna get to that.
Right.
But I just wanted to paint the picture for the viewers, so it set it up for them.
So
I feel real bad.
So I go in, I set
look
up
at
my
taking a drink now.
I go in, I set up my appointment as normal, and my appointment was typically it's just for me.
Right.
But at this was a special occasion because my son Trey, shout out to Trey.
Shout out to my guy, son.
Yeah, and he was back home, so he was like, man, I want to go down to T to get a cut too. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put it in there. Well, I got 2 grandsons. Now, first I called T because I know how T is. He don't like to cut kids. So I said, yo, I want you to cut my grandsons. Give me the best day and time that'll allow us. He said, all right, it gotta be on I think he said a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it gotta be late.
Right.
Boom. Okay. I took all that information. I set the appointments up.
Yeah.
And then Trey was getting his hair twisted because he got.
And it's funny because me and you were talking, 4 or 5 days prior to that about the appointment.
Right. So it's all set up. T got one of the stylists to twist, retwist Trey hair. Then he was gonna get shape up, and we was all gonna get cuts.
Right.
It's all set up, and I ain't, so we going down. People like, yeah, you talked to. I think Trey even asked, you talked to T. No, I ain't talked to him, but I don't need to talk to him. I mean, it's the appointment is set up.
Right.
I got my 2 grandsons. We got to get the car seats. We come down. We in the car. I'm in the car with them for an hour and a half. Trey's appointment to get his hair twisted is 5:30. My appointment, the first appointment for a haircut was at 7. So I'm like, all right, Trey, go ahead and you handle your business. I got the grands. I go get them something to eat. I'm in the car, I'm finagling all this, right?
Right.
And then finally, it wasn't until about a little bit before 7, Trey come out and was like, did you talk to T? Because they saying he ain't been in the shop all day. So now I'm getting a little nervous, but I'm like, nah, I ain't really worried about it. Like maybe he canceled all his, clients and was like, I'm just going to cut them and then roll out. That's what I'm thinking because I didn't hear from him.
Now, at that moment, you didn't hear from him. You calling,
I hadn't called at all yet.
Texting. I want to hear from him.
Yeah, I hadn't called it anything yet.
You remember that moment back then?
Everybody was calling me that day. And it was that.
The liquor, alcohol.
It was alcohol.
But my here's where
now wait a minute. Now he said it was the alcohol, and I remember this situation like it was yesterday because me and Phil was talking because I think we were going to do an episode, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming up for a cut, this, that, and the third," and I think you were having some health problems at the time too, weren't you? Wasn't your blood pressure high or something?
My blood pressure was up.
Yeah, I remember you telling
me. My blood
me
pressure was up, and it's only up because of the alcohol.
No, no.
Alcohol runs your blood pressure.
Alcohol probably didn't help it, but it probably was also up because you skirting all the calls that you was getting from all the people that you ain't cut that day too. That ain't help either.
And I'm always on him about communication because communication is key in everything. Relationships, business, everything. You have to communicate. If you're not communicating, it's a problem. And nobody should have no excuse for communicating. We got phones, we got text, social media, email. Like, come on, y'all. It's like communication is key right now.
Yeah.
I'm huge on communication. If somebody don't communicate with me, I'm not going. I don't care who you are. If I call and say, yo, we still on, and I don't get no we on, I ain't showing up because there's no reason not to communicate. And y'all know that. You know what I mean? That's huge with me.
Right.
So do you want to, because right now what I'm trying to get at is Phil's been going to him for over 30 years. Phil decided I'm not messing with T no more.
And the reason my real issue was, so fast forward, T didn't show up. I called him because when he didn't show up, I'm like, all right, well, let me reach out, find out what's going on. Cause I know something's going on. He ain't showing up. Well, I can't get him. I called Al. I called, Wayne's brother, our family. I called Al because I know Al is the closest to T.
Right.
Out of all of us. So I'm like, if anybody can know where T is at, because that's all I want. Like you said, communication. Let me know what's going on.
Right.
So I hit Al up. Al like, oh yeah, I just got off the phone with him like an hour ago. I said, really? He was like, yeah, he was, me once saying such and such and such. I was like, no, I'm working. I can't, do it right now. So I'm like, all right, well, let him know if you talk to him, what's going on? I'm down here. We supposed to get 4 haircuts.
Yeah.
We supposed to get 4 haircuts.
And you got the grands.
I got the grands with me. I'm like, what's going on? We supposed to get 4 haircuts. So like, I hang up. Like 10 minutes later, I'll call me back. Yeah, I talked to T. You know what I mean? This, that. And I said, okay. I said, so what's going on? He was like, I told him, you need, He was like, I'm messed up. This, that, and the other. He said, well, you need to call Phil. That's what he told. He said, you need to call Phil. So okay. So I'm waiting. I got the phone. I'm waiting for the call. The call never came. So I'm like, all right, well, let me call him again. Nothing. So I text him, and I still got that text right here today. I said, you not gonna pick up? You gonna no call, no show me? Like, I know you know.
And you felt a certain type of way about that.
All you gotta do is pick up and say, yo, my bad, yo, this is what happened. This is where we at. Yeah.
Look at him. You make him feel bad.
Yo, he didn't do none of that, yo.
I feel bad.
He didn't do, and I'm sure if it happened to whoever he happened to, like, just what.
I don't want to cut you off.
No,
Just
go ahead.
apologize. Just apologize.
I do apologize. I apologize.
Give him a pound, apologize, a hug, or whatever.
Right,
You know
but
what I mean?
Phil know.
No, he don't know.
You don't know.
My issue, my biggest issue was you never called. You never
After the fact.
The only thing you said after that, yo, you said 4 words. You know what you said? The only communication we had since then, before today, basically.
What was that?
I got messed up. That was the text you sent me, like 9 something that night. That's an unacceptable apology, yo.
So give him a chance to apologize now. If he apologized now, is it squashed and y'all back on good terms, or is it something y'all y'all got to communicate about, or what?
My whole thing was like we talked briefly the other day. My phone number ain't changed. I still ain't hurt. Like you messed up that whole day. The next day or 2 days later, when you should have been, yo, shh. Let me, you know what I mean? Never did.
Okay. I do apologize. But that day, the reason why it didn't happen the way you planned it out to be is because it was everybody calling me. Mm-hmm. And when everybody calling me like that, it's like, all right, I'm not like really on my phone, like, all right, this one, that one, going down the list.
But hold on.
Let him talk, Phil. Let him talk.
When I text you, I thought you would understand, but that wasn't enough. So today, I apologize for my actions and the things that I've done, and I'm welcoming you back.
On that note, we're gonna keep the rest of this conversation off camera between these two. He gave you an apology. You know what I mean? Once we get off, we gonna drink, have a couple drinks. Whether we gonna get twisted or not, they gonna talk about it. I just wanted to do this right here, right now. Phil will be going back. Trey, you know what I mean? The boys, y'all will be going back to T. We gonna talk about this off the camera. He apologized. Do you accept it?
I accept the apology, of course.
There we go.
I accept the apology.
Thank you,
There
sir.
we go. And that's that. That's some of the challenges that he's been through as far as alcohol and drinking. You know, I know personally he's been working on it. You know, he's gotten better. He's going to continue to get better. We're going to keep praying for him. You know what I mean? We're going to speak it into existence. And he's going to be good. You know what I mean? He's going to be good. He's good now. And we all going to be good. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we still going to be turning up. But it's going to be controlled turn up.
Right.
That's the key. Controlled turn up.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as setbacks, challenges, you know what I mean, things you had to overcome, we talked about the alcohol, you know, we talked about a lot of stuff. What about some of the other things, setbacks and challenges that you had to deal with, like the economic turndowns, like competition and personal struggles, like COVID was huge. Like during COVID, the whole world was shut down. How did you as a barber deal with that financially?
Well, everything went to zero. Everything went to zero during COVID. You know, I was sick. Mm-hmm. My knees were bothering me at the time, and I couldn't walk. Mm-hmm. And I was just like moving like an old man. You know what I mean? And some way, somehow, I gained my energy back. Mm-hmm. And I started walking again. Then I started going to people's places, to their house, to cut their hair during COVID with a mask on. It was one person that passed away that I cut during COVID.
That was now that pandemic period. That was a tough time for probably pretty much all public service people, pretty
Oh
much.
man,
Financially.
the pandemic was unbelievable.
That was probably your worstest moment in the
Oh
career.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Because you fighting to just stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You fighting to stay alive. You protecting yourself to stay alive. You know what I mean?
Did you and other barbers talk about that time in that period?
I talked to a friend of mine named Bruce. I was working for at the time.
Shout out to Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
sir.
No doubt.
And Bruce came through. He was everybody was sick. You know, and everybody was fighting to stay alive. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
over time, when time passed, and when I mean by time, when time passed, I'm gonna say like a year later.
Right.
Like a year later, excuse me, a year later during COVID, things started getting better because I started doing more cutting hair. You know what I mean? I started working from home. And my clients wanted a haircut. So I started cutting them. You know, so that's the only way how I survived. You know what I mean? And other than that,
People that were willing to get cuts and come out and you
right,
can say quote unquote take that risk.
right.
You start picking up some business.
Yes.
Because every service industry took massive hits.
Oh man, it was crazy. That was crazy. It was crazy because I
And I remember when you started back. Like you know what I mean? Like everything was, you had the hand sanitizer, you had the mist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
the humidifier.
the humidifier.
He'd be like,
Clean
yo,
air.
you can't come until I'm finished. We only had like 2 people there.
Yep.
To keep the traffic down. It was crazy, man. And you got through it though.
I did.
You
I
got
did.
through it,
Thank
man.
God.
Thank God, man.
Thank God. Yes.
God, man.
Yes.
All of us got through that. And shout out to all the public service people out there and everybody that went through all the hardships during COVID-19 and the pandemic. And man, let's not take that for granted, man. We still here. We still here. And it's still a lot of shit going on out here. So people still getting sick. Make sure I keep practicing that stuff. You ain't got to mask up this, that, and the third, and 6 feet, but wash your hands. When you sneeze, just be aware of people's health, and more your own health. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that was it's crazy because heading into COVID, like my wife is in the medical field.
Yes.
So when you in that field, you got a certain level of cleanliness, you know what I mean, and hygiene that you already. And I used to always get on like, oh, you doing too much. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like me, I was like,
She wasn't.
I tell him all the time when I get a cut, he got to clean that chair off before I get in that chair, man.
I
wipe it down, Lysol, everything.
But COVID, I think for a lot of people, it was an eye-opening moment. You know what I mean? Of how important it is
to be clean.
to be clean. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's out here.
And some of the practices that we were exercising that was trifling.
Yeah.
How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
That part.
That's what
a
what
big
I got
deal.
out of
That's
it.
a big deal. Yeah.
Some of the things that
100%.
we were doing,
Yeah.
it was like, yo, I can't believe this is what I was doing.
Right.
I mean, even as small as pumping your gas.
Exactly. Little stuff.
How about that?
Exactly.
You go in the gym, you touching the treadmill.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
pumping your gas. How many people you see out there wiping up down gas pumps?
You right. You right.
They had wipes out at the gas
Right.
pump.
Right. You right. You
You know
absolutely
what I mean?
correct.
But like, so it was just it was a big eye-opening moment for a lot of people, man. Like, we got to be a little bit more attentive. You know what I mean? Of making sure that, because you don't know the person right before you what they had. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You don't know if they was blowing.
and all of a sudden all you did is
Sneeze in
pump
their
gas.
hand.
But before you know, you get back in the car and you know what I mean? You
got COVID.
scratch your face. You know what I mean? Boom.
Yep.
So
with that being said, folks, y'all keep practicing those exercises and
stay mindful.
Stay mindful. But we ain't gonna hold you too long, T.
That's fine. I'm good.
We gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But before we go, tell us, what's in the future for Terrence T. Goodall. You know what I mean? You got any plans to, future plans or any aspirations that you want to tell the people out there? Also, give me your handles You know, if they want to come get a cut, let them know your Instagram, you know what I mean, anything that you want to tell the people out there, this is your opportunity to tell them, to try to build up some clientele. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you do need a haircut and you don't have a barber, you're respectful, and this is the guy you really need to come see in Philadelphia. Go ahead and talk to the people, bro.
Okay. I'm not really right now looking for new clients, but when I get back in the shop, I will post something to let y'all know where I'm at. I just want to live life. I just want to be good and live a comfortable life. That's all. And
What's your Instagram handle? You got an Instagram handle where they can see some of your work?
my Tee Sharpe Cuts LLC.
That's MYTEE Sharpe LLC.
Right. And you know, I'm not trying to bash the part that I'm not looking at new clients. It's just that I'm not in a position to gain new clients right now. You know, so that's not really what I want to do right now. But as far as living a healthy life and slimming down my weight and stuff like that, that's what I want to do. As far as me prospering as a barber, it'd be days I want to get a shop, and it'd be days that I don't want a shop. You know, that's only because of how people are today. You know, and a lot of people don't want to work. You know, and it's not the same as the 90s.
Right.
You know, and I'm like on a seesaw with that, you know.
It's something you want to take on, but you don't want to take on because of all the
If
challenges that come with it.
If I get a barbershop, I'm gonna have everything lined up the first day it open, meaning that it's gonna be a full service salon the day it open.
Just from
It's gonna be everybody in place.
just from your experience, you know how to do it.
It's gonna be everybody in place to do what they need to do to keep that thing running from day one.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna be looking for nobody. It's gonna be running from day one.
A well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. That's the problem.
Well, we definitely gonna
You know, because a lot of people today, you can have a business plan, and people back out, and you know, then you got an empty chair that can be making some money, you know, and they ain't how I want to start it. You know what I mean? Not to say that it can't prosper. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I want my joint to boom from the door. Everybody hitting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody making money. You know what I'm saying? Shampoo girl making money. The stylist making money. The barber's making money. Everybody good. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I gotta get me a barber in this joint. I gotta get me a stylist in this joint. I gotta find me a shampoo girl. I gotta find somebody to sweep up. None of that.
Right.
That joint gonna be running.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's the seesaw of really wanting a shot.
Well, we definitely gonna be looking forward. We're gonna speak it into existence. We all been waiting for it for a long time. Not I want to see you have a shot because you deserve it. You got any closing remarks, Phil?
I mean, you know, basically the same sentiment. You know, we've talked about this for a long time, and you know, when you start a business, open up a business, there's a lot of headaches. You know what I mean? There's a lot of headaches come with it, but anything worth having, you got to work for. Nothing worth having is gonna come easy.
It ain't coming
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some of that stuff that you don't want to, you know what I mean, that the lows and that seesaw that you don't want to go through,
You're gonna have to.
you got to go through that
got
to
to.
get to the pinnacle of what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So, but now at the same time, you do want to put some things in place so all the burden ain't on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of like Foot had. You know what I'm saying? Misfoot was that,
Right,
you know what I mean, conduit for him. You need someone like that that's gonna be, you know what I mean, like, you know, somebody that you can trust, somebody that's gonna be dependable, that can help, you know what I mean, alleviate some of that weight that you like, I don't got time to be putting with this headache.
Yes.
You know, but you know, some of that stuff is there for the taking, but you're gonna have to go through some of those lows, you know what I mean, to get to the highs that you want to get to.
You're right. You're right.
He gonna get there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we gonna keep it in prayer, and we're gonna speak, you know, a My Tee Barbershop into existence. And on that note, you know, T,
It's a pleasure, man.
Terrence T. Gooder Hall,
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
My little brother, my
Yes, sir.
barber, my family, my man. We thank you for coming. I feel like we could have touched on so much stuff when it came.
Yeah.
I didn't know like it was so much stuff you could talk about when it comes to barbershop and getting haircut and stylish. And we definitely gonna have to bring Terrence back and maybe have a female stylist here, and we can talk about some other things. And
Yes.
you know, on that note, make sure you check Weather the Storm Entertainment out on all platforms. We on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Check out the pod. Make sure you look at all the episodes. This is episode 12.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Comment.
subscribe.
Check us out. I mean, we thank y'all for the support. Keep watching. Make sure y'all come back and check out episode 13. On that note, we out. Peace.